afternoon. Testing. Good afternoon, Mr. Presiding Chair, members of the Legislature, Mr. Nolan. My name is David Neufeld. Neufeld will very Gisto. I represent Sayville Ferry Service here on their behalf. Also in attendance with us today is Judith Stein, the Chairman of the Board, Sayville Ferry for many, many years, and Ira Kanta of Markham, who is the accountant. The ferry business, Sayville Ferry, has been operational together with its prior companies for about 100 years. It serves the area as carried out by the legislative intent of providing ferry service to Cherry Grove, to the Pines primarily, to Sailor's Haven and Water Island. It operates a fleet of 6 vessels that are maintained, and 4 of them are relatively new. They're always maintained in top water. They transport about 446,000 passengers trips each year. Presently, another new vessel is being planned. The last rate increase was 2012. Unlike private companies like Sayville Ferry that are not regulated, they just can't increase 2 or 3% a year. So we're here from that. I'm proud to say that from the last time to this time, the last time we were lower than, for example, Fire Island ferries in terms of our rates. And even with the increase, we remain lower than them this time. The idea here has always been to operate efficiently, fairly, and provide the best service, not only to passengers, but we provide service to emergency responders, physicians, doctors, firefighters, anyone else in an emergency at no cost. That's done as a courtesy, as we are members of the community. The increase is necessitated, and BRO has gone over this, they've been provided with all the information, but if I could just highlight a few areas that have necessitated this. For example, the dock rentals. The dock rental that we're experiencing at Cherry Grove Dock District this year went up 100%. And I should point out that was after we objected vehemently. And the town of Brookhaven then reduced it to just a 100% increase, going from $15,000 to $30,000 annually, but indicated the intent to go beyond that. Similarly, FIPOA, who we go to the Pines with, FIPOA has increased it. This time it'll be 29% higher than it was in 2012, and it's going up another 34% through 2028. We're trying to plan accordingly. A big issue that we faced is minimum wage increases. They are being phased in, as you know. Our payroll is going up. It'll be 42% over the 7-year period, going from $692,000 to $984,000. I should point out that there's no increase in this for any of the officers of the company, who receive no dividends, no distributions, and no increases. Our insurance is up about 31%, and we're planning a new vessel to replace 2 of the older vessels. So this was all done, DRO has gone over this all, and in doing so, and in looking at the matter, they have approved this. They also made site visits. We responded to any of their questions and anything that they would like to know.
Mr. Neufeld?
Yes.
The time is up, but Lisa and Lindsay does have a question for you.
Please.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Thank you for coming in today, Mr. Neufeld. And I just want to start by saying I really appreciate the business mentality of the Steins. They run an excellent business, very in tune with the community. They've accommodated the community many times at my request when they had asked for extra ferries on certain nights to help the business owners after the fire at Cherry Grove. So we've always had a great working relationship with the communities in which they serve, and they've been very open to having dialogue with those communities. With that said, I just wanted to understand some of the dock rental increases and where they actually come from. So for Cherry Grove, is that determined by Brookhaven Town, or it has to be approved by them?
It's technically part of the district, the Cherry Grove Dock District, which is administered by the town of Brookhaven, and it is the town of Brookhaven.
Okay, so those fees go to the town of Brookhaven?
Yes, or to the dock district. I'm not sure of the
Okay.
economics of that, but yes, they go to a public entity.
And with the Pines, is it the same situation?
The Pines is actually by the Fire Island Pines Property Owners Association. They administer and own much of the property where the dock is. And so they maintain it, they do work with it, and that goes to them. And historically, we've always had a contract with them. This year, we had extensive discussions and negotiations with them because basically, it's nice, everybody wants a little bit more. We're all looking for fun. So we worked out a longer term with them, so hopefully we can avoid
Okay, and how long are those agreements, or how long are they?
Well, the Brookhaven is year to year,
Oh.
and with an indication, I should say, that they're going to go higher. The Fire Island property owners was a 10-year agreement. I believe we're into the second year now.
And it's not possible with the town of Brookhaven to do that on a multi-year basis?
We'll try.
Okay.
We have tried. I think that under their code, we have the right, as someone who has had it, to always come back. I think the issue becomes the price. And
Sure.
I think as government agencies, as we all know, have more difficulties, and we have, they look and, you know, unfortunately, we're the folk, we're there. And
Sure. No, I
that's
understand.
what we went into.
I understand.
But I just want to also point out, if I could, Fire Island Property Owners Association, for example, under the agreement, we provide them with notice, their counsel with a notice, and our petition.
Sure.
And, yeah.
And I know there's some representatives here from the community. We've been asked if we could arrange a meeting between the Steins and some community representatives, which I know in the past we've done. It hasn't been an issue. And we've gone through a similar process with the Bayshore ferries that service the western part of Fire Island, and we had success with it. Just in allowing some of the residents just to have input in the process and just to be part of the process rather than just being on the outside.
I think that in terms of, if people want to have a meeting on a certain interim basis, to just be aware of it, and maybe we can get input vice versa. I think that's fine, and that's been the case. I think that the only distinction I would draw, if I may, is that if we're going to have a public hearing, I think that you get into an issue with open meetings laws and transparency if you start to have separate meetings surrounding the public hearing. This is our public hearing through BRO. This is the way we've done it.
Right.
We've never had separate ones. But we would, in addition to this, I mean, in the future, for example, I would think.
Okay.
we could have-
Yeah, we're not precluded from doing both. Correct me if I'm wrong, George?
Yes, we could do both. We could have a meeting with the community, with the ferry. I don't think that'd be subject to open meetings or anything like that.
the only thing I would ask is that not be a part of, that should not defer, delay, or impede this. That's a separate issue entirely, we would think.
Well, the way the calendar is set up with our additional sessions before year end, we would have time to still close it and still be able to vote on it before the end of the year. So it wouldn't prevent anything from being passed in this calendar year. But I would like to give them an opportunity to have that meeting before we reset. We close the public hearing in entirety. So we meet again in a short turnaround time here in 2 weeks. We'll be back in session again, and then we're in session again after that 3 weeks later. So there's enough time left in the calendar to allow for that to happen.
My only comment is that the answer is obvious. We serve the public. But my only comment would be that we've never done this in the past. I've been doing this my fourth or fifth one here since 1990 something. But I guess the question comes up: we provide BRO with everything. We have the public hearings here. I mean, is this to be another type of a public hearing, or is this get you to know your neighbors? I mean,
No, and I'll allow the representatives from the community that are going to testify here in the hearing today to speak for themselves. But I can just tell you in the past, the way it's worked with other communities, a lot of the issues that they bring up had nothing to do with rates or anything. It was just more about, hey, this is fun. This is our chance to have an opportunity to sit down and have a conversation, and everybody is in the room and everybody is very attentive. So that's all.
I know we've had comments with FIPOA, for example, the Pines and the Association.
Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't look at it as an adversarial type of situation. But again, I'll let them speak for themselves when they come and testify. But thank you for coming in today. I do appreciate it.
Thank you. George Hoffman?
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is George Hoffman, and I'm here on behalf of the Fire Island Association, and we're the organization that represents the 17 communities on Fire Island, plus the 2 incorporated villages. I'm here to comment on Resolution 1800, which is the increase request for Sayville Ferries, and it's for the 3 East End communities that are served by the ferry: the Pines, Cherry Grove, and Water Island. We're requesting that today's public hearing be open, if at all possible, so that the communities will have an opportunity to be able to sit down with the ferry company and just discuss what the ferry company is is asking for some, issues in terms of operation that they would like to raise as well, to find out what the ferry company thinks. We only just received the financial information for this request approximately almost less than 2 weeks ago, so we are still analyzing the financials. So that's one of the reasons why we would like to have a meeting with the communities and the Fire Island Company. This process, I think, as was indicated by the gentleman before, or actually it was Legislator Lindsay, about 2 years ago when the Bayshore Ferry Company was up for its race, presiding officer Gregory, and I think at that time Legislator Tom Barraga put together a really simple process, which was to invite the community in. And it wasn't adversarial, it was actually quite informative. I think people got a better understanding of the financial operation of the ferry. I think the community understands the ferry's financials better, and I think the ferry understands the community needs better. So, we're hoping if at all possible that we could get that meeting before this legislature acts, because I think if we did it afterwards, I think it would just be much more open and transparent if we could have a meeting before. Just want to remind you that the rates don't go into effect until March of next year, so I do think that the December process would work for us. So we're just asking if you could put this hearing open. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, George. Okay, Suzanne Johnson.
Good afternoon. I'm Suzanne Johnson. I live in Rocky Point, but I also own a very small home in the community of Water Island. I serve on the board of the Water Island Association and attend meetings of the Fire Island Association on our community's behalf. Fire Island Association made me aware of today's hearing, which I appreciate. First of all, I want to thank Legislator Rob Calarco for his assistance in getting the channel to our community dredged last winter, something that we had needed desperately since it was last done 18 years ago. This summer, we were able to shorten our dock by half, reducing the expense significantly and making it much safer for our residents and boaters in the Great South Bay. Our community depends on the channel, which is utilized by Sayville Ferry to provide transportation to our homes. Secondly, I'm here to request the legislature hold off on approving the rate increases submitted today by Sayville Ferry. Legislator Calarco shared the information from the Budget Review Office with me last week, and I have forwarded it to our residents. Not everyone has had a chance to review it. We do not hold community meetings in the winter where discussion on topics as important as this usually take place. Receiving notice of the proposed increase in August or September would have been more useful. More than half of our residents use the ferry to access our homes, so this increase cannot be approved without their knowledge and understanding. We appreciate the service Sayville Ferry provides on a regular basis, and especially in emergencies, and we expect to continue to have a good relationship with the Stein family for many years. We would just like the opportunity to meet and discuss the proposal before you, our representatives, vote on the increase. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you, Ms. Johnson. That's all the cards that I have for this public hearing.